type of way, clearly, with Caitlin Clark giving her teammate some of her shoes, because it's a very high chance you're going to see Courtney Williams wear them damn shoes again. And I'm probably sure that she's talked to Caitlin about getting a deal with her PE shoes. Let me get a pair of PEs or something, Caitlin. Yes, Courtney Williams has been one of the biggest supporters for Caitlin Clark since she has been in the league. I like it. I love it. Courtney, I remember it was
Napheesa Collier reacts after Caitlin Clark presents Courtney Williams with special pair of sneakers. Buzz has surfaced across the WNBA following a moment during All-Star Weekend where Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark handed a pair of her own signature shoes to Minnesota Lynx guard Courtney Williams. These weren't ordinary retail copies, but an actual worn sample pair straight from Clark's collection. Natasha Cloud also walked away with a pair from the same exchange. Both players documented the exchange on their personal streams and content channels, appearing thrilled with the gift.
I like it. I love it. Courtney, I remember it was, I believe might have been Caitlin Clark rookie season. Courtney Williams had said something to where like everybody needed to just get on board and ride the boat, ride the tide of Caitlin. Why everybody mad at her? We all getting money. That, I believe it was something like that. It was something like that, though. But with all of that being said, and you look at everything that's happened until now, one player on the Lynx and one player that's in the WNBA that has not switched up on Caitlin Clark is.
However, one figure connected to the situation appeared far less enthusiastic. Napheesa Collier, Courtney Williams' own teammate on the Minnesota Lynx. Observers noted a shift in her demeanor once footage circulated of her teammate receiving Clark's footwear. Speculation followed that Williams may now pursue a signature shoe partnership of her own with Clark, given how visibly happy she was to receive the gift.
In the WNBA that has not switched up on Caitlin Clark is Courtney Williams and Natasha Heidemann. Both of these young ladies have been supportive of Caitlin Clark and her movement since the movement became real. And the movement became real once Kathy got on that damn podium and she announced she was drafted #1 overall pick by the Indiana Fever. That's when it got real. And so many players, to me, just has not gotten on board. You know, even players that was on Caitlin Clark's team before, or even players that could possibly really be.
Williams has long been recognized as one of Clark's most vocal supporters throughout her career in the league. During Clark's rookie year, Williams reportedly encouraged other players around the league to embrace the attention Clark was bringing, pointing out that increased visibility benefited everyone financially. Alongside Cloud, Williams has remained consistently supportive of Clark's presence and the surrounding attention, even as certain other players have reportedly cooled toward her since her draft selection and the media spotlight that followed.
Clark team before, or even players that could possibly really be on the team now, because I'm here to tell you, it's just certain players, I ain't gonna get the name, and that if they wasn't on the Fever, they would be on some ish online. There's just about five of them, I would say a good 5 of them. But with all that being said, man, my rant is over. Let's get into the content itself. That is Napheesa Collier passing out her shoes like stimulus check. Napheesa Collier rolling out a card of her.
Turning to the featured footage, Collier was shown handing out pairs of her own new player-exclusive Jordan sneaker line to those around her, treating the giveaway almost like a bonus distribution. She followed the gesture with a short address to the group.
Napheesa Collier rolling out a card of her brand new PE Jordan Air Series 2. Let's roll it. Oh, yes, she did.
Within the clip, someone pointed out that a teammate was already spotted wearing Clark's shoes, prompting jokes about whether Clark might eventually switch loyalties to Collier's exclusive Jordan model instead. Some questioned whether the shoes shown were actually Clark's design or a different Kobe-branded pair altogether, with lighthearted remarks about Clark's earning potential regardless.
Oh, yes, she did. Then she gave a little speech about it.
Only once. I mean, somebody I spent that much time with, seeing her around. No. I'm gonna say where I'm at.
See, her teammate is wearing Caitlin's shoes. Caitlin McBride on switching from Kobe to Napheesa Collier's PE1 Jordan. Is these Caitlin Clark shoes? Or these some Kobe's? Those just might be the Kobe's. But hell, Caitlin Clark had PEs.
No. I'm gonna say where I'm at. But I am really excited to, rep PE. I think it's so cool to PE.
The clip escalates when Collier is heard stating she has no intention of wearing Clark's shoes in an actual game, reportedly saying so directly. Reactions from those present ranged from shock to laughter, with someone noting she seemed intent on sticking with what she currently wears on the court.
That's what I wanted to sign it, keep it forever, one. So, somebody I spent that much time with, seeing her around. Her own shoe with Jordan is really cool. So, maybe not on court, but off the court for sure.
I think.
No.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I'm excited to, rep PE. I think it's so cool to PE.
Oh, wow. She said she ain't wearing her shoes on the court. Oh, to her face. Did she say that? Oh, hold on.
No.
The footage also touches on Clark's comments about her return performance, where she expressed enjoying single coverage during her first game back. The Fever were scheduled to face the Seattle Storm afterward, with a live stream reportedly planned following the matchup for fan reaction and discussion.
But I am really excited to, rep PE. I think it's so cool to PE. That's what I wanted to sign it, keep it forever, one. So, somebody I spent that much time with, seeing her around. Her own shoe with Jordan is really cool. So, maybe not on court, but off the court for sure.
I think.
No. I'm gonna say where I'm at. But I am really excited to, rep PE. I think it's so cool.
She ain't planning him. She don't trust him.
No.
Wow. Caitlin McBride on switching for. Oh, no. I'm going to.
An injury report update followed, listing Clark as probable and Bree Hall also probable, while another player appeared questionable for the game. Commentary in the clip criticized how team-produced footage framed Clark within the broader game promotion, noting she wasn't shown clearly until well into the video, and suggesting the team downplayed her presence compared to other players.
They're in win now. So, you can see this, expiring contracts to watch. So, Kelsey Plum being traded feels like it's going to happen, which is why I'm going to give that its own video. Because apparently, Kelsey Plum has made it clear she's not going to re-sign in LA. And the question is like, if you're the LA Sparks, what are the odds of you making the playoffs high or low?
The NBA trade deadline is shaping up to be chaotic. A recent article lays out how one of the league's top performers from 2025, Napheesa Collier, now appears to be a possible trade candidate, which is a surprising development. Multiple star-level players are being floated on the trade market, alongside several role players from struggling rosters. Teams like the Phoenix Mercury are facing pressure to make bold moves, since missing the playoffs would put them squarely in win-now mode, with limited patience left.
The playoffs high or low? Low. Like the odds of you making the playoffs as an LA Sparks, if you're that organization, the odds of you making the playoffs is extremely low. And obviously getting Kelsey Plum for a trade that was at the time supposed to be Olivia Miles was a crazy one. It was a crazy one. But then also signing Kelsey Plum to a bargain contract.
Among the expiring contracts worth watching, Kelsey Plum's situation stands out. A move away from Los Angeles looks increasingly likely, since Plum has reportedly made clear she won't re-sign there. The question becomes whether the Sparks have realistic playoff odds, and the answer leans heavily toward no. Getting Plum in the deal that was originally framed around Olivia Miles already looked unusual at the time.
Signing Kelsey Plum to a bargain contract for a one-year deal, while giving 3 years to Ariel Atkins, 3 years to Diarca Hamby, I think it was 2 years to Nneka, all on higher pay. Like, she's the fourth highest paid player on the team. And like, if you're Kelsey Plum, you're like, we're actually kind of fucked. We got nothing here. As a team, we got no future. We got nada. We have nothing right now. Like, we're not going to be good now. We're not going to be good in the future. And like, if I'm Kelsey...
Add to that a modest one-year contract for Plum, while the front office committed 3 years to Aja Wilson, 3 to Dearica Hamby, and 2 to Jackie Young, all at higher salaries, and Plum ends up as only the 4th highest earner on her own roster. From a player's standpoint, that's a rough position. No real path to contention now, or in the near future. Plum is also the 2nd youngest among the team's core veterans, yet she's approaching the later stage of her career.
Kelsey Plum, I'm like, I'm the 2nd youngest of our core. Like, Kelsey Plum is very close to being on the downturn of her career. Like, she is very, very, very close to being on. I'm not even going to say it, she's on the back 9. Like, she's still doing well, but we've seen how quickly the regression of Kalia Copper, who's only, I think, a year older than Kelsey Plum, has been. We've seen how quickly the regression of Jewel Lloyd.
She's not declining yet, but the league has shown how fast things can shift. Kalia Copper, only about a year older, has faded quickly, as has Jewel Lloyd. Even Brianna Stewart, once arguably rated above Aja Wilson before 2024, isn't viewed that way anymore. Given all that, Plum's prime has likely lasted longer than most players typically get. At 32 years old, born in 1994, this window represents her clearest remaining shot to be the top option on a championship contender. It's also possible she'd be content simply leading a new team as the primary star, having already secured titles elsewhere. There's reportedly an obvious destination fit for her, to be covered separately, but for now, she's clearly available.
Of Jewel Lloyd. We've seen, I'm going to be real, we've seen the regression of Stewie, as great as Stewie is. Like, prior to 2024, Stewie was probably seen as greater all time than Aja Wilson. And now no one's doing that. So we've seen it. We have seen that happen. So if you're Kelsey Plum, you are at your peak has been probably longer than most people's. Like, you are 32 years old. You're born in the year 1994.
Regarding other roster moves, the Lynx' Napheesa Collier is technically a trade possibility due to contract structure, but suggesting Minnesota trades her is comparable to suggesting the Fever trade Kelsey Mitchell, essentially unthinkable. The Lynx have the financial flexibility to retain Collier on whatever terms she wants, especially with Emma Meesman returning on a minimum deal and Dorka Juhas still under contract. The idea that they'd move her because the team performs fine without her doesn't hold up any better than the equivalent argument about Mitchell and the Fever.
In the year 1994. Like, you're 2 years older than me. Like, that is bad. Like, that's aging in sports terms. And this is your real last chance of getting a ring as a number 1. And maybe, if we're going to be real here, with Kelsey Plum, maybe she's happy out to just go be the number 1. She's already won her titles. But, like, there is a clear...
No one would make that case mid-season, but front offices like Cheryl Reeves stay opportunistic, watching which teams around the league are open to deal.
But, like, there is a clear team she should be going to, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but Kelsey Plum's clearly on the block. And then you've got some of the other moves here. The Lynx star Napheesa Collier is another franchise player who, because of terms of her contract, has to be considered a trade option. That being said, saying we need to trade Napheesa Collier is like saying the Fever need to trade Kelsey Mitchell.
Phoenix's situation is notably different, since the Mercury are struggling badly and sit far from playoff contention. 12th seed, a 10-18 record, 5 games back with 16 remaining. A postseason run looks essentially out of reach. Trade discussions reportedly took place earlier during a losing stretch involving Thomas, but interest has since cooled, with no takers currently. The team also parted ways with Yvonne Turner for undisclosed reasons. One rumored target to salvage the season is forward Alana Smith, currently on a 3-year max contract. Acquiring her would mean committing major long-term money to a player averaging around 5 points per game with poor defensive numbers this year. A short-term upgrade that could hamper the roster for multiple future seasons, potentially locking Phoenix into lottery territory again. It might make sense only if the return included multiple first-round picks, say from Las Vegas or Dallas, but that remains uncertain.
Is like saying the Fever need to trade Kelsey Mitchell. It is basically the same thing, except the Lynx are in a position where they can absolutely afford to bring Napheesa Collier back on any contract she wants. Like, the Lynx are in a position because they've got Emma Chikova coming back on a minimum. Dorka Juhas has got another year. Thank you, Cabrillo, for the membership. Just wanted to be in the video. 2K, WNBA, it doesn't seem to change. But, we're being real.
Then there's Bria Hamilton, whose situation with New York is awkward. The Liberty likely need to move her, but doing so without strengthening a title contender is tricky, since she'd realistically only interest teams looking for short-term rental help. It may come down to New York choosing between holding her for the rest of the season or trading her for an asset that benefits a competitor, a decision made harder by the fact that teams are often reluctant to absorb rental-level contracts. Connecticut is expected to be a clear seller heading into the deadline, and hypothetically, a swap sending Lauren Betts to Washington in exchange for Kelsey Plum outright could work out favorably for both sides. Regardless of exact outcomes, this deadline is expected to feature real star movement, unlike 2 years ago when the bigger trades waited until the All-Star break, with the deadline itself producing a smaller move like Myisha Hines-Allen. Last year's notable deadline trade was reportedly DeWanna Bonner heading to Minnesota. This year looks set to be far more significant.